So last time y'all decided after the reemergence of the lightened form of Dawn's Edge that it was worth checking out the statue cavern to the south, the only place that you had currently not explored, only to find yourselves amongst 30 of these drow statue soldiers, and a handful of them ended up coming to life. And as you all retreated, I believe it was Hestor and Artomis, managed to see some kind of dark, large, ghostly figure with these kind of glowing eye points emerge very briefly, chuckle, and disappear again. And you all, through the course of this fight, found that the statues would not proceed up the staircase in pursuit of you all. You now stand in the Crystal Garden once again, contemplating rest. Take it away, guys. What do you want to do?
Sleep.
Head to the city? No, sleep till
Blingenstone. We all want to head back to the city, rest up, gather a little more intel, and come back, hit this hard and fast.
Yes, I think that's the right move.
All right, let's go party with squeakers. Let's go.
Okay. So you all start making your way back to the city. Doesn't take you long. You walk maybe 15 minutes before you're back into the Caves of Clatter and moving your way into the staging area where you have passed through before. And in here you see that there's actually a bunch of guards that are talking. And as you kind of emerge into this space in these tunnels where you could head further to the south to Diggermatic Hall, or you could start moving your way to the east towards like the Foaming Mug, you are oh my goodness, where did it go? Sorry. You are actually approached by one particular looking gnome who's like waving their hand and going, "Oh, hold up, do you have but a moment? Good sirs and madam."
Yes, fair guardian of this realm. What news do you have?
I love the way that you conduct business. It's good. There it is. They run up. I am Sark Axe Barrel, and I've just seen Gurnik pass through here carrying a frozen companion in stone, a young Eva Clay. Could I ask you what happened in there?
Of course, my companion. So, we set forth to purge the Reich blot of the evil that held its sway.
You mean the Rock Blight?
Yeah, that's what I said, of course. Yes, we went into the Ricklebickle, and to cleanse it of the but you know what I'm saying.
Now you're being slightly racist.
All right. Well, this was a good talk. Clearly,
I'm very low on hit points right now.
Yes, no, you look quite messed up.
Mr. Axe Barrel, was it?
Yes.
Why would you put your axes in a barrel? It doesn't even make sense.
Why would you call the stars?
Squeakers, we have to talk.
You have to forgive us. We have been through a harrowing experience in the Rock Blight. We have managed to cleanse the steadfast stone at the behest of good Gurnik, and unfortunately one of the denizens in there protecting the area of the stone happened to be a vile Medusa.
So there was one in there. I thought so.
You knew there was a Medusa in there.
We could only speculate, as a former scout of mine that we had sent in had never returned, and only a handful of, homeless about the city of former miners had decided that they were going to find themselves a new home within the Rock Blight. I offered to pay them for perhaps any information about our dear friend that went into the Rockblight, never to return. And some of them swore of stone statues and hissing beyond. If I had known you were going into the Rockblight, I would have offered you just the same, but is this Medusa dead?
Aye.
She is in fact gone. There were few bodies in there other than those of drow warriors, but there was one figure other than our fallen friend. And Hestor will describe in best detail he can the individual that we had originally happened upon that had the piece of crystal up to his face.
They, Sark actually kind of nods their head and goes, yes, no, that was Tormund, and I am sorry to know of their untimely demise.
About how long ago, if you don't mind me asking, did they disappear into the Rockblight? Gurnik has had success helping those caught in the Medusa's gaze. Our friend Starcaller here is one such individual, although we were lucky enough to catch him quite quickly.
It was about 3 months ago that they went. Do you have some means besides Gurnik? I know they said they were taking Eva to the church as they had no direct means at the moment to return them themselves, but perhaps the good Earthcaller could return them. Do you have an alternative means?
We do not, unfortunately.
Damn.
Did you say the Earthcaller?
Yes. Seogen Earthcaller, one of our deities, yes.
Interesting. And she looks at Starcaller. You...
Oh.
Is this
You
a
think we're
deity that you
Are we-
know?
Are we related?
Are you related to a deity?
Maybe. Squeakers, to the research.
To the
To the research.
to the research.
He's
Correction.
reading all the
It's
books upside down.
It's Segojan.
Segojan.
Segojan Earthcaller. That's how I'm choosing to pronounce it, but it's Segojan Earthcaller.
Okay.
So you can say Segojan or just say Jan
Mhm.
Earthcaller.
Earthcaller.
Sego, Ego,
See,
Ego
look,
Earth.
No,
This-
if I've learned anything from gnome deities, it's always go with the last name.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Earthcaller and Smooth Hands, those
Oh,
are
yeah.
like the prime deities here in Blingenstone.
My boys.
Yes, does Segojan also... And do they have a thing with hands, but perhaps rough, earthy hands? Is that a...
That's such a dumb, small-minded question. Why would the Earthcaller have anything to do with hands? These smooth hands is the hands that mold the earth that the Earthcaller is benevolent enough to grant us. How
Okay,
dare
you're
you?
really not far off here, and it's pretty surprising. So I will say that Hester, you can get a point of inspiration for that, for basically getting it. Earthcaller is the deep gnome god of the deep earth and nature,
Mhm.
and Calardurin Smooth Hands, or the Smooth Hands, is the god of stone and of mining.
Mhm.
So he's more of the refined part of it all, and Earthcaller is the more raw part of it all.
Yeah, I know my
I do
shit.
not see how that is any different than what I said, which was smooth versus rough, and the
How does-
idea that hands are involved in the shaping of the world either way.
But how does he work the earth if
No,
his
no.
hands are smooth? I don't understand.
The earth is there. It is granted to all of us. It is a natural occurrence that the Earthcaller allows us to walk upon and walk within. Smooth hands gives us the ability, the craft, the passion, the artistry to shape it in a way and chip away at it in a way that is beneficial to us, that brings us peace and passion.
I must admit that this does not make a lot of sense to me. All artisans of my city would have rough hands due to the work that they commonly did.
Starcaller, like you like pan back and his like nose is bleeding. He's losing one of his remaining 4 hit points. Yeah, no offense, guys, but can we go take a nap now? Like, please.
Sark actually takes out a pouch and sifts through it and goes, "Thank you for clearing the city of this danger. This has been of great help. And my friends and I will go looking for our companion's statue. Perhaps."
While you're doing that, do not go down the stairs. Do not ixnay
Yes.
on the stairs day.
Leave that
What-
for us.
What stairs and where?
Just don't go down any stairs. Just
Yeah.
go into the chamber that has Tormund in it. Get him. Get out. Don't.
Okay, you know what? Let's make this simpler. He pulls out a piece of parchment and like some kind of charcoal, and he's like, "So, is it look like this?" And you guys end up helping him draw a map. Yeah. And then like a big X, just no stairs here. And they're like, "Okay, great." And then he pulls out a beautiful diamond and hands it to the 3 of you and goes, "This is a thank you, personally, from me and the guards for taking care of this threat." And you're given a diamond that is worth 1,000 GP.
Oh, goodness.
And Sark kind of bows and salutes at you all, and then kind of goes back and talks to the others, and the others all start kind of forming into line behind them, and they all like nod and thank you as they pass by, as they head towards the caves of Clatter, as it sounds like they're going to go retrieve Tormund, their statue buddy.
Mm.
All right, that is enough activity and gratitude for one day. Let's get some shut-eye.
So you all head back to the foaming mug, and as you do, we are now pretty much towards the end of the day. So the foaming mug has filled back up with quite a few people in there. Most of the miners are in there getting a drink and laughing. There's actually a little bit of music. It's not quite as dour as it was the day before. And you see Jimmy is standing on top of the counter in his 9-inch tall form, just like yelling at patrons that are kind of like swatting at him and making him kind of dance, while Tappy is like fervently running around the room trying to tend to everybody's needs. And do you guys even stop to like eat or drink, or is it straight to bed?
I think at least for Starcaller, he'd want to eat something just so he can be at full readiness the next day.
Yeah,
Not feeling terribly social, but would definitely like to, make sure he is at full capacity.
Yeah, we have to consume enough camp supplies to make sure we restore everything on
Oh my
on a long rest.
god.
Are you only going to use alcohol and do like the dwarves do?
Yeah,
though?
no, I'm gonna like pile up on jugs
Salami.
of water and alcohol and cheese and salami. I'm gonna
double
leave,
fist those salamis.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the ration packs for the last possible consumption.
Good thinking. Good thinking. So you all kind of like enter in, and like it's hard to actually roll perception to see if you can find a table available to you all.
14.
7.
19.
Okay. Starcaller and Hestor, you notice that there is a very large, like, kind of conglomerate of tables that have been pushed together, and there are a number of deep gnome actively involved in a drinking game with what looks like a giant frog of some sort. And there is like a little bit of space, or like one of the tables you think you could like pull away from the events that are happening to be able to give yourselves an actual table to sit down and eat.
Yeah, we'll play some scootsies, grab that table, and move it away.
So you begin to grab that table. Some of the other gnomes kind of like turn back at you and kind of start to grumble, but then they see you and they're all like, "Oh, sorry, no, go ahead, take the table." And the like large frog individual is just like, now, how come we got guests that ain't gonna drink with us?
Oh, dear.
Come on now, join me, dear friends. Garp will not take no for an answer.
All right, Garp, you got me. And Starcaller sits down.
About time! And just like slams over a now empty jug and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry about that one. I drank that one. Miss Foamstrap, could we have here 3 mugs of whatever you've got left? I'm sorry, I'm drinking everything." And he like tosses her a couple gold and she grabs it from the bar and she's like, "Yeah, absolutely, Garp. Just a moment. I have other customers." And Garp turns back to the 3 of you all, and you can see they probably, as they're sitting down, they are a very large round mass. They've got you can actually see like a little bit of teeth between their lips. They've got these large kind of upturned horns with their eyes, and they look far more toad-like. They have this dark brown gray mottled skin, lots of kind of like warts before it dips into like all of these different robes, and you can see like there's a little bit of chainmail linked in there, but they just turn to you all and go, "So of course, introductions now, let's not be shy," and shoves like this big kind of webbed warty hand over to you. It is Garp de Bumble. And your name is?
Artomis Starcaller.
Pleasure,
sir.
What a name. Wonderful to meet you. Wonderful to meet you. And my fine Triton friend. And your name is?
Yes. Garp, is it?
Yes, Garp de Bumble.
It is nice to meet you. And she will like shake his hand once, like very firmly. Are you from the Dark Lake, or are you from some other form of water?
No. I ain't from the Dark Lake, as you might come from. You are of different countenance, as I must say. And pulls on like these like few wispy white hairs that kind of form like this almost like little tiny beard on his very large chin. No, I come from the surface and from the deep swamps. Not that my family spend much time in there. Too much water doesn't necessarily agree with me, but I do enjoy it. But you must be from the Dark Lake.
I am. My family, my people, are from the City of Coral.
Ain't never heard of it, but it sounds delightful.
I should like to visit the surface one day.
Oh, you very well should. These beautiful gnomish people have escorted me down here, and I don't know when the next cart is coming out, but I figured I might stay and enjoy their hospitality for a little bit. And I'm sorry I'm being so rude to your fine, slyly whiskered friend, and you are?
At this point, Hestor is just realizing that he has not fully reverted yet. And he's going to sort of like wipe his face, like he's getting like smears off of it, and you see the whiskers retract. Pardon me, Hestor Stonetooth at your service, Garp. A pleasure.
It's nice to meet you too, Hestor Stonetooth. Wonderful job shaving there real quick. And gives you a little wink.
So, Mr. de Bumble, what is your line of work? What is your business?
Oh, well, I don't know that I have one, to be honest with you. I've just found myself wandering to and fro. I do enjoy. Oh my! I didn't notice this before, but could I see your hand again? He's looking at you, Starcaller.
Sure. I'll reach my.
Are you casting a spell on him?
Oh, absolutely not. I could not dare. Look at these nails. Do you do any kind of work on these?
Well,
You looks like you moisturize, but these nails are mighty sharp.
I am uncomfortable.
Ooh,
I shred every thing I can.
I love it. No, that is
Miss Foam Straps, bed pills would never be the same.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate before we continue any conversations.
Oops, sorry about that.
What do you mean? And he just takes his claws out and starts just scraping them on the table like.
Oh no, please. I would just. Oh my goodness. Do you mind? I think they could use a very nice lacquer upon them to just make them pop even more. Could I? Would you mind terribly? I've been trying this new recipe for folks.
Sure. And then I give a wink to Squeakers, who's on the alert.
And he pulls out essentially what is like this clear varnish nail polish and starts coating your claws and stuff and goes, now just look at that shine. Oh, that is wonderful. Tasteful. No, sorry, and as they're finishing up, they're taking big drinks of their ale that Tappy has now brought to the table. And they're like, no, I find myself curious about making different tinctures and salves and polishes to improve upon one's beauty, but I do enjoy the finer things in life, such as good food and company, and so I just find myself traveling looking for any of those things. Miss Scylla, would you like some of this? Or perhaps you, Mr. Stonetooth? It looks mighty fine on your friends, or perhaps you would like a color.
They're very sharp now.
It has. I would have to say it's been a fine minute since I've had a manicure, but I am not opposed to the egotistical pleasures, so I do think I will indulge.
And Garp actually turns back to the rest of the room and is like, I am so sorry, my dear friends. We were in the middle of a game, but I have found that my true passion and calling has found itself presenting itself to me. And so I must oblige this dear indulgence. Please continue without me. Here for your troubles. And passes out a couple silver coins to the rest of them. And they all kind of cheer and go back to their drinks. And turns to you and pulls out a file and starts going after your nails and stuff like that. So, the rest of yous, what's brought you here to Blingenstone?
Scylla has a deep frown on her face as all this is happening, and I would like to grab Starcaller's hand and bring his nails up to her face and sniff them.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a gauge on if there's anything in this tincture.
Make a perception check.
16.
There's nothing poisonous about it. You're you're not exactly sure as to the true chemical makeup of it, but whatever he has put on there just simply makes it shinier. Their nails are shinier now.
Okay, I think she kind of she drops it.
I mean, I don't smell that bad. I mean,
I appreciate that they are shiny, but this is a custom I am unfamiliar with.
To answer your question, good Garp, I myself am actually a resident of Blingenstone. However, I've lived on the outskirts for most of my life. I actually found these folks wandering, you could say lost, a couple days travel away from here, and I brought them along with me for a place of safety. They were headed in this direction anyway. I simply am looking for to do better for this town. We found ourselves in some bad luck lately, and I would just like to contribute to remedying that wherever I can.
Well, look at you. Ain't you just the nicest fella? And to be finding such good company here in the Underdark. I hear that it is incredibly rare while traversing these wide-ranging tunnels to find anybody that could be considered a friend. So I think you have some luck about you, dear Hestor. Oh, look at that hand. That is beautiful now. Would you like anything upon them, or just the filing good enough for you?
I think that's absolutely perfect. The natural beauty sometimes does all the work for itself.
Absolutely. You should not overdo it. Miss Scylla, could I entice you, or perhaps another time? I don't want you to feel pressured none.
I would like another time, I think.
Oh, but of course. And he like snaps his little file of clothes and like dips it into the robes. Thank you all for indulging me. There are very few around here. These poor miners, they hardly have nails to speak of in the dust. Oof. I cannot imagine. And they're like looking at their own hands. Like, I cannot imagine having such dirty fingernails.
Thanks.
It is rare to find an artist such as yourselves in these occasionally unfriendly caverns.
Stop it. That you are too kind. I'm just a mere traveler. I'm glad that there is good company. I've heard many a tale of how hostile it can be down here. So please, I want nothing but for your enjoyment. Perhaps I can buy you all dinner for indulging my little hobby.
Well, that would be, I believe, most welcome. And Garb, if you could, how did you come to be down here? Have you been in the Underdark long? Do you perhaps know a way towards the surface?
Oh, I just got in a handful of hours ago, to be honest with you. And I came down with a trade caravan. They said they was coming down. I hadn't seen the Sniffle Blend before, and they just said, hey, for a couple coin, you could come down. Said, hey, what you got for food? How about you got some fine nails I could work upon? Perhaps I could set up a little stand, get to know the people. And, well, they said, we got food. Don't know about them nails, but here I am.
Sorry.
So they move back and forth to the surface. I'm surprised Hestor didn't tell you that.
Well, forgive me, but the trade caravans have been mostly closed, if not blockaded, for a while now. Are you saying they've been making trips back?
Well, yeah.
God damn.
Hestor, have you been fibbing?
Hestor.
No, as of us arriving in the city, my understanding was that they were not making any trips to the surface. I can only assume that perhaps some of the good fortune of the city since we've been back has expanded their options, or something else has happened that we haven't been made aware of.
Well,
Insight. I would like to know if Brendan is a liar.
Sure.
15.
The last that Hestor would know from their knowledge was that a lot of the trade caravans have been halted, but out of any of the cities, the Deep Gnome have been the ones with constant contact to the surface world. It sounds like Garp came down with one that was returning, not that necessarily any have like gone back up.
Gotcha.
So perhaps Garp is like misunderstood it here and might not realize that they might be down here involuntarily for a while.
Okay. All right. I would definitely want to speak to the Diggermatics or somebody to inquire if they are actually traveling more, but I genuinely think that at least the last I understood, things were still closed up, so I haven't been lying. If anything, I'm just unaware.
Well, I don't mean to be mixing up anything. I just came on down. I'm assuming that there's going to be some kind of return trip here.
Fuck, Garp, I just got a good thing going and you're fucking it up.
You're choking this
I'm sorry.
His toad eyes are bugging out of his head.
But your nails, I need your nails.
No, Garp's like, no, I'm very sorry to be misconstruing anything. I just assumed there'd be a return trip here. As beautiful as this city is, I don't necessarily mean to stay in the Underdark for much longer than I might need to. But who are the Diggermatics? Are they important here within town?
Dorbo Diggermatic is sort of the taskmaster down here, the quartermaster. He's sort of in charge of the rebuilding efforts. And then, my goodness, Brendan is blanking on. Oh, and his wife Senny is sort of the leader of the settlers. She is the quote unquote head of Blingenstone. As of right now, they together are working to restore the city's glory after all this time.
Ah, well, that's wonderful to hear. I should perhaps introduce myself. I was just shown this way by the traders that came in before, but that could perhaps wait for tomorrow. Miss Tappy, Miss Foamstrap, I should clarify, is there perhaps another room available that I might rent so that I have a comfortable place to lay my head? And Tappy's like, Jimmy, I need you to handle that for a moment, please. And at this point, Jimmy has now finally, just like as he's like jumping over towards you guys, reverts back to his normal form and like bowls into a bunch of other people. And it kind of starts a small fight, fist fight, from which Jimmy manages to like slip out of it. He's like, oh, sorry guys. Wow. Whew, that was a lot. Hey, look, Scylla, look, I'm back. That was, can I be honest with you, Scylla? That wasn't like the best experience. It was like kind of cool because I could slip into a whole bunch of places that like I hadn't really necessarily gone before. But perhaps we might not do that again. If that's
you
okay
understand that I only did that to save your life, yes?
And don't think I'm ungrateful or nothing, but it's sorry.
But it does sound like you are ungrateful.
No, it's just life's already kind of a little hard, and that just
What does your hard life have to do with saving your life now?
No, it's okay. Forget about it. I'm sorry I said anything.
Have you tried picking yourself up by your foam straps and doing something?
Oh, no.
No, that's a good one. Heard that one before. No, that's okay. Sorry, Mr. DeBumble. We definitely got room for you. Seeing as our other tenant has been away on business, there's definitely room for you. So, of course. And, yeah, you guys, your room's ready. Clean sheets, pillows, everything.
Sarkar is gonna go up behind Jimmy. Jimmy, do not forget the bravery you showed in the Rock Blight. Do not forget your potential. Do not forget the chain shirt I gave you, which will save your life if Scylla chooses to end it one day.
Oh yeah, no, that's thank you for reminding me all those good things. Believe me, I'm strong, honorable boy. Man. I'm a man.
Man-child.
You are a strong man boy, yes.
Yes, and as for the chain shirt, after that got dropped on me, some trader took that because I was like suffocating underneath that. That was kind of rough.
Jimmy,
yes.
I will find who took this from you, and I will make them weep from their eyeballs in their fear of you.
Wow, that's really intense. I don't think you need to go that far. I'm sure you could just explain the situation and everything would be fine. You don't need to make them weep from their eyeballs.
It's every like once in a weird comment that I see the correlations between Starcaller and Drax.
But no, listen, I'll sorry, Scylla, I won't bother you anymore. It's a good move. Thank you for saving my life. I really appreciate that.
You are welcome, but I am unbothered if you think that I've said something to say otherwise. I am not bothered.
Oh. Okay.
That's how her face usually looks. That's okay.
Is it really? Because it's like super incredibly intimidating and hard to read. So
okay.
She just looks always displeased.
Not just because she is.
I am not displeased.
You're
but
right there.
I do not always understand you, Jimmy.
That's me, the mysterious man, Jimmy. Jimmy Foamstrap.
Again, you have lost me.
Yep, that's okay. Listen, enjoy your rooms. Hope it was a filling dinner. Mr. DeBumble is the first room down the hall on the left over there, across the hall from these guys. Yep, I'm gonna get back to the kitchen. Oh, shit. I gotta go get all those pots and pans that I took off. Oh, no. Yeah. Shit. Guys, hey, promise me. Look at me. Look at me. All of you, look at me. Look me in the eyes right now. Seriously, real talk. Don't say nothing to Mama, okay? I did not take her mithril skillets out there just to lose them.
Your mother's skillets are
The skillets are made
your
from
mother's
mithril.
skillets are mithril.
Yes, don't. Hey, listen. Seriously, don't say shit, or I might not wake up tomorrow. Okay?
You're an imbecile.
No, wait. What are you talking about? It was supreme body armor, dude. I was wearing mithril plate, basically. I consider myself a slight genius. Thank you.
Jimmy, my people do not lie. It is unfortunate to have to tell you this, but if faced with an opportunity to speak to your mother, I will have to be truthful.
Why you gotta be like that, though? Come on,
Jimmy,
Scylla.
There's
Go
a narc in every group.
reclaim what is yours, and I will do my best to make sure Scylla and your mother do not speak of this.
Oh, thanks, man. You're the freaking best. And Jimmy runs off back towards the rock fight to retrieve his pots and pans.
God.
Actually, Scylla, this reminds me.
Yes.
You could easily have left me to be sundered in the blight. Your quick thinking and compassion is appreciated. And so I'd like to give you this. And he stretches out his hand.
She kind of grabs it, I guess. She reaches toward it. What exactly am I misunderstanding?
Will, I'd like to sleight of hand something into her pocket.
Okay. Roll for that.
Oh, I love being a rogue. It's a natural 20 plus 8. It's a 28.
Okay,
Jesus.
Garp doesn't see it. Hester, do you have a better passive perception than that?
No. God,
Okay.
no.
All right, so you sleight a hand successfully.
I give you an awkward handshake. You have my gratitude.
It was something that I had to do.
Hey,
Certainly.
don't ruin this moment.
I will not ruin it. I will just say, I'm glad you're still here.
Aye. And now, I'm going to sleep while my remaining brain cell is still functioning. Good night.
Hey, good night. It was a pleasure to meet you, Artomis. I'm sure I'll see you in the morning.
Indeed, fair Garth. May you always find fair counsel and fine drinks.
They kind of nod to you, and they turn back to you, Scylla and Hester, and they kind of stand up their large, kind of rotund form, and they kind of bow to the two of you and goes, well, I'm going to be retiring for the night. I'm sure I'll see you about the place. I've got an appointment with the Digger Barracks tomorrow. Make myself known. Good night.
Good night. I think Scylla will only stay up for a few minutes longer, speaking with Hester on whatever they talk about.
Yeah.
and then she will also retire.
I did actually want to, before you go away, Scylla,
Yes.
this past occurrence in the drow living statue cavern is one of a handful I think I've seen from you recently of you strike me as somebody dealing with a lot of anger. And forgive me if I'm overstepping. I I'm simply worried. I don't want to see you hurt yourself, and I want to extend a hand if you ever need anything.
That is very kind of you. I've found myself, ever since growing these partnerships with individuals on the land and fighting these demon princes has it has brought up certain feelings that I'm unaccustomed. My people are very primal. Situations like this stick in my mind in ways I'm unaccustomed. And I find myself reliving moments. I find myself caught off by my own emotions at times when I need to be focused. I'm not sure what the answer is, but the rage feels good.
I understand that. No, I believe me, I understand. I'm in sort of a strange position, I guess you could say, in the community, and it's hard.
Community, I'm sorry.
Both. Well, no, truly, both. You know, I don't agree with everything Chipgrin thinks either. I wasn't lying to Garp when I said I'm just a small man trying to make a big city a little bit better. And I don't think anybody's doing that perfectly.
If I still had a city and I could still try to make it better, I would as well. There's a lot of honor there, in my opinion. I would help you in that.
I appreciate that. And you and Artomis both have been immeasurably helpful the last couple of days. Artomis was not wrong. You saved our hides, both of ours. Back with that Medusa and the elementals, so it's appreciated.
I'd say it was quick thinking on everyone's part. Well, except Artemis, he was stone.
He comes back and gets him in the second round.
Yeah, some would say it was quick thinking that got him into that predicament.
No, but this is a complex situation, and I know you don't know me from smooth hands, but I appreciate the companionship that I've found with you and Starcaller this last week or so, truthfully. So if you need help, just as you have helped me, you have it. I just want you to know that.
It is an honor to fight alongside you. And I would have to agree. Should you need anything, I'll be there.
Good to know.
I'll take my leave.
I think Hestor will watch her go up to the room, and he'll have one more drink, sort of looking across the tavern of miners and workers and just townspeople, just people trying to pick themselves up and make something better, and just sort of consider himself lucky to be a very small part in that. And he'll finish his last drink and retire to bed as well.
How long do you think it takes you to finish that last drink?
Probably I don't think he's rushing. Probably he'll sip at it for 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. At some point, as you look down to lift up your tankard again, you see that there is a small sheet of parchment sitting on the table right next to your tankard.
Is it just a blank sheet, or is there anything on it?
Do you pick it up?
Yeah.
You pick it up and you see it's unfolded, and it's inside. All it says is, Chip Grin wishes to speak with you and your new friends.
Well, shit. That's a tomorrow Hestor problem. And he's going to fold the paper, slip it into his pocket, and retire up to bed.
Okay. You're retiring into bed. It's been probably about half an hour now. More and more people are retiring. You can hear people leaving. There are muffled noises of tables and chairs kind of scooting about. You can hear Tappy saying goodbye to people and wiping up. And then things grow pretty quiet as you all start to kind of settle into sleep here. And then you're all awoken to this huge crash and clatter. And then you just hear, Jimmy! What are you doing with the pots of pans? And you just hear like, I'm sorry, and then wha-bam, wha-bam, as they're getting like hit, and more yells are occurring, and then finally it quiets down as Jimmy's screams dissipate.
It's just that cinematic like zoom out from the tavern as you just hear more and more screaming and banging.
Wha-bam, wha-bam. And you all have a nice long rest.
About time.
About time. Here we go.
Hot damn.
Woo-hoo. Still alive.
Oh yeah.
Golly. Love to
Jolly
hear it.
Gee Willikers. And what do you all want to do with your morning here?
Scylla would awake from her bath and meet everyone down for like a meal, a morning meal down in the tavern.
Artemis like wakes up. He looks over at Squeakers, who it is the next dawn, so Squeakers begins to dissipate, and he just whispers,
Oh.
"Goodbye, old friend. I'll see you again."
Oh,
Dissipates.
With his heart slightly heavier, Artemis also goes to breakfast, and I think there's also like a little bit of like not quite a strut, but there's a spring in Artemis's step because they have like direction. They have had a proper rest, and they, for the first time in a while, at least know what one combat scenario is they could be going into.
mhm.
Sure.
One non-surprise.
As like Squeakers dissipated and you're like feeling better and you feel like you've got some actual direction and purpose, you hear far in the distance just as Bacon and Penelope dissipate from somewhere else in the city as well.
Mhm.
A shattering of stone. Eva!
The fools! The fools! I also feel like Artemis's grip is a little tighter on Dawn's Edge, knowing that she is in a happier place now.
Yeah, you can absolutely, like, I know I was kind of cheesy with that roleplay before, but like you can feel, it's almost like a glowing within you with your mental connection with her. She is just exuberant about everything. That fear that used to emanate her of the darkness and questioning, this depression within her, is now pretty much gone. She feeds on the happy atmosphere that like everybody that is stumbling into the foaming mug this morning for a quick bite. I'll have to double check. I was trying to be really good about the dates, but I think today is like technically a weekend for them. So like the miners actually have like a day off. And so it's like a lazy morning for everybody. Hestor, are you doing any kind of morning rituals or anything?
I think Hestor sits at the edge of his bed for a good few minutes, just like staring at the note.
Mm-hmm.
And just like contemplating what all of that is going to entail. Because it's been a little bit since he checked in. So I think he just stares at it for a little bit, takes a nice deep sigh, pockets it and goes downstairs to at least start breakfast with his compatriots.
Sure. You all sit down for breakfast. Tappy comes out. She's serving you all a like special type of underdark version of like coffee or tea. And Jimmy comes out. They're covered in some welts and some bruises from the pots and pans. But they kind of give you a crooked smile as they give you your breakfast. And they're very quiet, actually, for like the first time ever. And then you see Garp de Bumble comes out and kind of, do you mind if I sit with you all for just a nice morning cup and perhaps just a little bit of nosh before I go to find these digomatics?
No, please.
Thank you.
The seat is open.
They take one of these small seats and like lower their large frame into it. It creaks under the weight of their mass, and they start eating and digging into it. And they just kind of, so any new plans for the day? Seems this is a day of rest for just about everybody here, from the looks of it.
It seems so, but our work is never done. We return to our labor later today.
I see. Well, hey, early bird gets the worm, so they say.
Yes, we cannot rest while the demon princes are alive in the Underdark.
What?
Maybe Ixnay on the Eamon Prince Day.
No.
Are you all right, Hestor?
They need to know, Hestor.
Now, what's this about? A demon prince?
Yes, we are spreading the word and gathering forces to help us battle the demon princes who are plaguing the cities of the Underdark. They are the ones who destroyed my own home, the city of Proal.
Not demon prince, Gop. Demon princes. We have encountered, what is it, 2, 3 so far?
Well, wow, that's, okay. And and you're still here. That's...
Indeed.
My goodness, that's, what have you walked into, Gop?
It was
Opportunity.
poor timing for you to come to the Underdark now.
No, I'm seeing that, but, I suppose there's no helping it now.
Yes, you are well and truly screwed now.
Oh, well, I can look on the bright side of things. I've met some good friends, and perhaps I could find a way to help, perhaps.
Indeed. Yes, Garp, I can only count on your blade in the battles to come.
Oh.
Hestor is floored.
Well, most of my fighting has been rather theoretical. I haven't had to do too much of taking a life, but I suppose if it was perhaps a giant fantasy of chaos and annihilation, I could probably do something. Yeah. I suppose you could give me a ring, maybe?
Excellent.
Why would we give you a ring?
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Yes,
I don't know if there was like a bell you could ring or something, and I'd just hear
There
it.
is a bell here.
Oh, that's good. Hey, there we go. We're making progress.
Scylla has already practiced ringing that bell.
Yes, I could do it anytime.
All right. Well, hey, listen. Let's see how our time here in Blingenstone goes, and if there is a need for me to be fighting demon lords, perhaps I'll be right on board.
Can I do an insight check? Does he look like his pants are already shat?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Yeah, I'll roll that as well. I'm trying to get a feel of like if he has any prowess at all.
11.
15.
Hestor, you don't think they've shit their pants? It's like genuine shock, because it's the equivalent of being told that like essentially a god has appeared and is walking amongst you. Except it's, of course, an evil,
Bad.
monstrous god that will destroy anything and everything in its path, basically.
And plural.
And plural, yeah. So they're more in a state of shock, not necessarily like sunk in and shit has been shat.
The shit has not yet been shat.
Exactly.
It ain't over till the shit has been chat.
Yes. Scylla, it's interesting. Everything about Mr. DeBumble here reads as like very non-confrontational. Like you've definitely picked up amongst the folds of like the robes, there appears to be some kind of like bits and pieces of like chainmail that stick through, but you haven't seen them carry any weapons of any sort yet. And just their general demeanor, you're like, they look like they got some strong musculature underneath that kind of like rotund body, but it's hard to truly tell what Mr. DeBumble, has to offer.
Okay. Scylla will say nothing, but on the front of like their ability, but we will get in touch with you should the need arise.
Yeah, no, let's reconvene on that thought at a later date. That sounds wonderful. But I'm perhaps gonna go take my meeting with the Digomatics if they are up and about this fine morning. Pleasure, and waves to you all and starts to get up when there is a at the table there, and you all turn towards it and you actually see that it is Dorbo and Senny standing just offside the table, and they look to you at all, and Dorbo kind of looks to Senny and Senny goes, I think it's all time we had a chat, especially you, Hestor, about your leader, Mr. Chipgrin.
Shit.
And that's where we'll end it today.
Ooh-wee! That was a wild ending on that one, but you know what? We're glad you're here. We are rapidly getting close to 100 episodes, and it is great to have you here in the outro. Couple quick things. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. We are publishing all of our episodes out to YouTube so that you can actually watch us playing the game instead of just listening. And then if you want to hop over in our Discord, we've got all sorts of people in there talking about the podcast. And, we're also talking about Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate is out right now, and we're all loving it. And then we've got maps up in the Discord channel, some extra content with some other things. And if you have questions for us as players, we've got a little channel in there that you could submit for the bonus action segments. So really loving that. We hope to see you there. You can find all of our links at linktree.com/themadnesstable. And I think that's it. So we'll see you next time when
the madness continues.